Welcome to the Wager Makers Podcast with Webb and Smitt.
Brick by brick, baby. I'm freaking out, Webb.
I was told there'd be no man. Stupidity's going to be an asset. What a bunch of crybabies.
Hello, my name is Steve Smith, and this is Rob Weber. Say hey, Webb.
Hello. What's up, Smitt?
What's up, buddy? I'm Smitt, that's Webb, and we are the Wager Makers, and this is the Wager Maker Podcast. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, this is the podcast number 54 already. 54 podcasts, Webb.
54. Time flies, Smitt. Like I said, I'm back here in the garage, sweating my ass off like I was a little less than a year ago, I guess, right? And 54, big number, easy layup for me, no problem. Stupid ass mustache is going to come out of your mouth, I'm sure. But Randy White, the Manster, obviously easy. One of the easier ones, that since we've done for me anyways. So Randy White absolutely gets my. Olvacker was a baller. Goose Gossage, I don't have too much. I was never a Yankee fan, but certainly back then. But I don't remember too much of him. So I remember the mustache. I know he was good. He's definitely a Hall of Famer, but no comparison to the Manster, Randy White.
All right. Well, speaking of, first of all, I'm pretty sure Randy White probably had a mustache at times too. That
he definitely 70s, did.
It was
he definitely did.
the Tom Selleck looking,
especially he was from Texas.
1970s porn star looking mustache. Goose Gossage had a little more elaborate mustache probably, but I'm pretty sure Randy White was sporting a mustache. Obviously, Urlacher was a good number 54. I'm a fan of Randy White's, even though I'm not a fan of the Cowboys. I like Randy White. But Goose Gossage goes back to my days of the 77, 78 Yankees, 79 Yankees, growing up, 7, 8, 9 years old, learning how to be a Yankee fan. 9-time Major League Baseball All-Star, 22 seasons with 8 teams, 1978 Yankees World Series, and also in 1978 he was the American League Relief Man of the Year. Probably back in the day they called that the Rolaids spells Relief Man of the Year.
Something like that. Mistaken. Yeah.
At least at some point in their lives it was called that. And then
that was probably Fingers days. Yep.
Right. 2008 Hall of Famer, Rich Goose Gossage, big burly guy on the mound, man, could really throw the smoke. Really the beginning of the days of the closer. And that's Goose Gossage is my man, New York Yankees.
Well, to throw some shade on that first, he wasn't a career Yankee either way. I think he was definitely on the Padres, and he might have been on the A's too. And he was pretty good on both spots there. So that's a demerit, just to chalk something up in my on my side. Randy White, I don't have any stats. I know he's in the Hall of Fame. I know he's in the Ring of Honor. I know he won at least 2 Super Bowls. So. Doesn't matter. He was. I think he was one of my first. I had a Dorsett jersey and a Randy White jersey. Yeah. And your boy Michael Crawford, I'm sure. I think I remember seeing him with a 54 in St. Rose when we could wear normal clothes. So that's good enough for me.
I remember the Cowboys. They were the beginning of that the flex defense they called it. We're not all the defensive linemen were like right up on the line. A couple guys were kind of set back. Innovator that Tom Landry. The shotgun,
that's what he was.
Shotgun and the flex defense. That was a big deal.
Exactly right. And then the offensive linemen had when they went hut, they stood up and then went down into their 3-point stance. I don't know if you remember that. Remember those days?
Why the fuck does my camera keep going off, though?
Yeah, it just went back.
Yeah, I remember. I got you. All right, I'm still here, though. But,
and it's the back. The
fuck
thing in the behind is switched.
And you got to see my cat. My cat's actually in the cat carrier this time, so if you got a chance to see that.
Good, the cat's relaxing. That's what it should be
doing. The fuck out. I wish the cat life is the good life right
now.
Yeah,
no doubt. Always.
All right. So sorry for that technical difficulty. We could have started over again, but we kind of hit that 54 was a good little combo there. So we're just gonna roll with it. That's Marty. That's Bob Marley the cat. So that's what you get to say.
I wonder how many cats are. Just a side note: how many cats are named Marley? My brother's cat is named Marley, and I know someone else who has a cat named. So I personally now I know 3 cats named Marley.
There you go. We have 2 cats: Elvis Presley and Bob Marley.
I don't know any Elvises, but I do know a couple Bobs. So
there you go. Who knew? I didn't know that.
Right.
That's a couple names.
What a legacy. What a legacy.
So another week, Webb. Another week. I got a little Venmo payment. Did good. We talked about the soccer, the KBO. This week we're struggling. It's already Saturday morning here, and I gotta have a big KBO night to get. But I'm getting used to these Venmo payments.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've been on a hot streak. Maybe I jinxed this. The KBO for sure. It's been. If we lose this week, that'll be the first one, and I'm gonna maybe 8 weeks, something like that. Again, not every week was a big week. But a win in this business is a win. Now, it's not over yet. We do have a bunch of stuff going on. The golf still is pot. Well, I don't know about that, but we got MMA tonight too. Usman is the wager maker's pick. Not too big of a favorite, which scares me a little bit, but that's what we're going to roll with there. We still have KBO tonight, and the soccer's been good to us. But I'm assuming we'll have some soccer. I don't think there's anything on ESPN today, but we'll definitely have some soccer. There's MLS tonight. Our MLS guy is 0-1. Our insider, we got to get even on that. We got a couple games. Maybe he can get into the weekend 2-1. It'll get us right. So let's not. It's only Saturday morning, brother. That's all. That's what I'm saying.
Even got some NASCAR. Everybody up there, I've been riding Hamlin. The dude can fucking race. The dude can race.
The dude can turn left. He can turn left like no one else.
Motherfucker. No doubt.
He can put the pedal to the metal and turn left, baby.
So I added one more gambling notch in my belt, utility belt here last week. I actually bet on Joey Chestnut in the under.
Oh yeah, that was a good
July. It was I'm 0-1 in eating contest. Turns out, Joey Chestnut.
You know, I mean, they could all be, but we should have said there's no way that, especially this year, we needed the contest needed something uplifting. It needed to be a record-breaking time. It was bizarre too to watch. That's a tradition too. We've been doing that for a while. We used to go to Kelly's Tavern and watch it. And it was weird. Like there was no one there. It was like I think 2 reporters inside, and it was like a secret location. They had to do it so no one would show up. So it was under wraps where the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest was, and we did lose that 0-1.
Right, so. 0-1. So I took the under 72.5 hot dogs. I had no freaking idea. I just thought it seemed like a lot of hot dogs. I thought maybe being in quarantine, maybe he was out of practice a little bit, but I should have thought better. I could probably eat more hot dogs now than I could have 3 months ago. So the world record that he set, his own record was a year ago. He set 74, and he got to 75 hot dogs. And I think you're right with everything going on, Webb. The world needed a hero. We should have known that the America needs a hero.
That's right.
Right now, more than ever.
And what's more American than eating fucking hot dogs on the 4th of July? So we should have. We were on. You know what? We deserved to lose that one. The more I even think about it. So, and it was minimal. And we were plus odds, dude. I mean, we let the odds play us. We should have did a little more. We should have talked about it before. That's what we should have done. If we talked about it on the show before that, I bet you we would have talked ourselves into jumping on the Joey Chestnut bandwagon.
Right. We should have just been like, yeah, let's just root for the dude to fucking house some hot dogs. Right. Like, why root against the guy?
Right.
You know? Right. So speaking of champions, boy, Mahomes signs a get paid this week. 10 years, $450 million. Could be as much as $503 million. 141 guaranteed. Webb.
Yeah, I'm torn on this. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bitter, a little angry at seeing the amount of money these guys make and seeing what's going on in the country and personally and all this other bullshit. So then I kind of swallow. I'm like, hey, listen, the dude, they're gonna pay him. He's gonna take it. Why not? If they're gonna pay him that means somebody has it. So, but then I see what you talk about with the season ticket holders and all that shit. So if he didn't make that much money, the season ticket holders made that much mess. Blah blah blah. Anyways, it's mind-boggling, shattering that's the amount of money you can make. The dude's 24 years old, and I guess you could even consider this a team-friendly deal, which is even more kind of crazy. So I'm interested to see, what the domino effect is if they're going to get Chris Jones signed now, the defensive tackle, I guess. He's not an end, defensive tackle. And see what they do with the money. And I know we saw there's something on Twitter too that day. There's like 5 or 6. 7 main dudes on the Chiefs that are all 28 or younger, which is another, kind of scary thing. But, I got no hate for Kansas City or the Chiefs, but the money to me I try not to think too hard about it one way or the other because I get either angry or something else.
Right. I don't really have a beef with the money. It's a supply and demand thing. If they had enough money to pay, if the NFL's taking in enough money, well, pay the dudes. I got no beef with it. Just like I got wrecked for saying that Cam was only worth a certain amount. You are what you sign on the dotted line.
No doubt. Well, that's again. Cam already signed $100 million deal. That's what was not. That's what you're arguing. The guy coming up against you didn't say.
Right.
That dude wasn't broke.
Right. So moving forward, NFL's. Webb, I hate to be doom and gloom. I hate to be doom and gloom every week, but the writing's on the wall. Things are moving forward. The Ivy League comes out and says they're not playing any games in the fall. Obviously, it's just the Ivy League.
That makes sense.
The Saints came out this week and started setting up ways for season ticket holders to get refunds
because it's not going to. This is why. Let me tell you. Let me walk you back here. Because first of all, they heard you. Gail Benson heard you. She called me on the slide and said, I may do something for Smitt. And I'm like, okay, I won't tell him. And then the second, because listen to me. They're playing NFL football. You may not be there. No one may not be there, but there will be NFL football on whatever that September date is. I goddamn guarantee it. I'm not saying people are going to be there in the stands or 100% of season ticket holders are going to be there, but they will be playing football. I guarantee you.
All right. Well, also just to show the hypocrisy of the NFL as usual, the league, everything, they come out with a rule. And look, I was critical of Richard Sherman last week, and this week I'm going to agree with them 100%. So they come out with a rule and say that that T-shirt swapping deal that they do at the end of the game, the jersey swapping at the end of the game. Yep. They can no longer do that. So in other words, you can go out there and for 60 minutes of playtime, 3.5 hours, bang up against this dude, sweat on him, bleed on him,
right?
Saliva everywhere, shit everywhere,
right?
And you can do that, and that's safe to do. But you can't take his jersey and swap it at the end of the game. Sherman was very critical. Some of the players are like, this is utterly absurd to think that it's safe to do one thing and not the other. The NFL just every day, the hypocrisy of the league is just, it gets up to here with me.
It's just it's laughable. It's just so fucking stupid. I don't know why a league that is, it's too big to fail. Like, it doesn't matter what they do because especially now, motherfuckers are dying. I can't wait for them to kick off a football game. It's ridiculous. It's laughable. Okay, you can't wear the jersey. I don't know. It's like saying, okay, you're going to cut off your arm, but I can't give you a Band-Aid or whatever. It's just ridiculous. It's absurd. You're right. It's hypocrisy times a million.
All right. So, and now we look at college football. Okay, I said the Ivy League is not having football. The Big Ten and the Pac-12 have both come out in the last week alone and said that there will only be a conference schedule this year. No other games. To me, I think it's just heading down to that's just the writing on. And even they said, one of the commissioners said, this is not necessarily the end all be all rule that's going to happen at this point. Everything's changing, moving forward. We'll see what happens. To me, the writing's on the wall to not have college football this year.
Well, now that we're talking about hypocrisy, and the NCAA is perfect segue here. Yeah, it's tough. The Ivy League, it sucks for the student athletes or whatever, but I get that. I mean, there's bigger pursuits there, and then the bigger, what did we say? The Pac-10 and the Big 12, is that what we said?
Big 10 and the Pac-12, I believe.
Yeah. So I don't know. I had it backwards, Pac-12 and Big 10. So does that mean they're going to play just 8 games, or they're going to add games to the schedule? Were they specific about that? Because if they are only playing, that probably helps the conference, first of all, because that's going to be more home games inside the conference, and that would only help the heavier, the Ohio States and I guess who's the best team in the Pac-12. I don't even know. Oregon, I don't know. So that means they're going to put another patsy in conference on their schedule. So again, that to me is a little bit of definitely hypocrisy, but manipulation of what's going on. Especially if they just eliminate the games, only going to play 8 games. That's different. But and again, student athletes a different thing too. But there's just so much money involved. I'd be very, very surprised if they don't play.
Right. Which brings up, if all these, let's say this domino effect and all the conferences come out and say the same situation, what happens to your Notre Dame and your BYU, Webb? Is it the non-conference?
Well, here's the, and again, that's right on the hypocrisy. BYU is a little bit different. I think that would be a struggle for them. But Notre Dame is going to say, we're Notre Dame. We're arrogant. We have our own. We don't need your conference. We have our own NBC contract, blah, 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 blah. Just play us and we'll make the exception. Or maybe they'll do something. But Notre Dame one's not going to do this. They're not going to just say they're going to play the Big 12 and the ACC, because that means they're going to have 4 and 5 losses instead of 2 and 3 losses. So that's a great question. I don't know. My thing is Notre Dame wouldn't agree to it. So I don't know. I think it would be a win for some of those conferences. And why not let BYU into the Pac-12 even for a year? It would only help. It would only help, especially these days. But I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I think they're not going to play. That's pretty much my thoughts, dude. I think we're heading down. I hate to be the Debbie Downer every week.
Then
I just feel like, I like to talk about games between the lines, Webb. I like to talk about the games between the lines.
Right.
This shit is getting fucking old to me. I don't know what everything in sports today is getting old to me. I just want my money back. You guys can stick up for your rights. You can write whatever you want on the back of your jerseys. I don't want to be. I never thought I'd be that old crusty dude that says. And look, everybody's got a right to their opinion. Everybody's got a platform. You have a right to do it, but I don't have a right. But I also have a right to not spend my money at the place. I have money to not put my money there. Look, I'm too much of a fan to sit here and say I'm boycotting or I'll never watch again and shit like that. And just all it is for me at this point from now on is going to be about this. It's going to be about my bottom line, me getting Venmo payments. I'm no longer getting my heart involved in these sports. I'm strictly a head man from now on. That sounds disgusting, but I'm over the sports. You can say one thing politically, you can say another thing politically. The players have a right to say. The dude comes out this week. Everybody's behind the movement. Every dude comes out this week and starts quoting Nazi shit on shit. But that's supposed to be okay. I don't understand. And I'm not the guy. I'm not like this bitch on Fox News that says, oh, players should just shut up and dribble. I'm not that. I get it. You guys have something you want to say, but everybody's got an opinion. I just don't go to sports events. I don't watch sports events to get into this. There's so much political shit going on. And look, civil rights is not a political issue. I'm all for that. But I just want to watch fucking games, man.
No doubt.
And this is me. Maybe I'm just getting frustrated with this quarantine and shit. I'm tired of talking about.
Preach, brother.
All
Preach,
this
too. I'm over my head on this shit.
I'm tired of talking about all this shit. I just want to see goddamn sports, man.
It's true. It's true.
I'm tired of talking about disease. I'm tired of talking about dudes wanting money. If I was a player, I might not even show up to the bubble either. Why would a dude, you got $100 million in these NBA players, especially. I mean, there's some NFL guys that don't make the bank that some of the big NFL. Not everybody's making the Mahomes money. Okay.
No.
So if they don't show up, they don't get paid.
Right.
And some of these guys in the NFL are making a few $100,000, and that shit gets eaten up, just like everybody else's money. But I'm just tired, man. I'm fucking fed up. I just want to play sports or not. I'm tired of talking. I turned on ESPN last night and NFL Network looking for just something different than what's on the damn TV. And both stories are the same shit that's on the news.
Yeah, that's what that's the times we live in, and that's a ramification or of no sports. There's nothing else to talk. There's nothing between the lines to discuss. And like you said, Steven Jackson, everyone was behind him. Now maybe this guy's not the guy who runs into the stands against the Pacers and fights when he was on against the Pistons or whatever it was. Maybe, let's give him a shot. Okay. And now he just, and not only that, first of all, he didn't even read what the fuck he sent out there. And then to get behind Adolf Hitler, let's say the Hitler won the war or whatever, hypothetically, whatever, and then he kills all the Jews and that's what this whole thing. What do you think he's going to do with the brothers? They're fine. He's not going to exterminate you next. So it's just, I don't know. It's just completely laughable, and it just completely deteriorates anything he said good the prior weeks. Now he's back to being a clown.
Right. Right. It's the same old Deshaun Jackson, pretty much.
Right.
But we're supposed to listen to you about other shit.
Right. Something you're good on one aspect of human rights or civil rights or whatever, and then completely, utterly clueless, like ostrich head in the sand, clueless about other things.
Right. But I'm supposed to take your word as bond on every
right. On shit. You're
educated on the other shit, but this you have no fucking idea what's right.
Then let me add. And then Malcolm Jenkins comes out again. He's the poster boy for this. Always has been. Whatever. Intelligent dude. All that. And he goes, all this is a distraction. He doesn't make a comment about no, it's not right to support Hitler. He goes, no. This is just an attempt at a distraction. Maybe make a comment that, it wasn't right to, commit genocide or whatever. Again, the last thing I want to get on this when he's talking about fucking politics and these fucking assholes. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. But then it gets back, maybe Malcolm Jenkins could have made it a bigger picture and taken this platform again to really kind of bring it all together. But that was a swing and a miss there too.
Right. I'm all about getting real change out there. I mean, I think there's things need to change in this country. No doubt.
Of course. That's blatantly obvious.
Against that. Nobody doesn't
right.
feel that way. But this I don't know, man. I just want to watch sports, and I'm not like I say, I'm not the woman on there saying shut up and dribble. I get it. Everybody's got an opinion, but I just don't want to watch it. I mean, I want to watch the damn game.
No doubt. I mean, listen, that's all I want to do is gamble. I'm going to be a biggest sports fan. I mean, the shut up and dribble thing is ignorant. They have a platform. Why not use it? I get that. No problem. You got money. You got influence. Blah, blah, blah. You got sneakers named after you. You got a fucking $100 million. You want to enact some social change. You have an opportunity to do that much more than you and I could. Okay, go ahead. Go do it. Just try to be smart about it and don't talk about out both sides of your mouth about it. And that's, enough of that fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Now, I didn't mean to get into that.
No, it can't. It's what we live. It's ridiculous. It's fucking sad. Like we said last night, it's just fucking sad. Anyways, now let me ask. We're talking about the NFL. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The left tackle said he might not show up. Now, when I read it, I was like, this dude is fucking stupid. Why is he doing this? Now, in the article, it says that they're going to not get paid. They're only going to get paid 65%. Is that true? I hadn't heard anything about that before. I think that changes the argument. That does change the argument.
I think the NFL came out and said they're going to put some of it in escrow, maybe 30% in escrow or something like that to see what kind of losses they end up taking over the course of the year or something like that. And I don't blame the players. If you play 16 games, you should get paid for 16 games. I agree with that. But also, if I was a player, I wouldn't even. I mean, why put yourself through this if you're financially in a position to? I don't know. For the love of the game, fuck that. This is a business. This is a business.
Well, listen. If you don't have to play, absolutely not. But just say I'm not playing, and then shut the fuck up. Right. But I didn't know that there was. If you're going to go play 16 games, you're going to get paid for whatever 65% of that number. What is that? I don't know, 13 games or something like that, or 12. Less than that. But whatever it is, I didn't know that. So that does change the argument. If you're not going to get paid, MLB again, that's a different story there too. I did say I would not have watched. I would have certainly gambled on it and just used it as a straight, entertainment device as if I was going whatever. But I would not have been a fan of any major league baseball team.
Yeah.
NBA sounds like they're trying to hedge a little bit too. Again, if you're you're guaranteed $12 million. You've made it these past years. Even if you don't get it this year, I get that too. You don't want to go play. It's stupid. What you would consider something that's half a season or some risk. Why would you? I get that too. Again, don't play. Shut the fuck up. Let the next guy who wants a chance, hungry, maybe prove himself, let him play, and we'll see you next year. Fuck off.
Yep. So I was kind of excited. So I mean, I'm gonna say one more thing about this. I was kind of excited. In all the bet you hear about the conferences closing down and the NFL giving back refunds, but NBA shows up. NBA shows up to play. They got the bubble set up there. They got everybody's getting tested. Everybody's in one facility or a couple of facilities right there in Disney World, and then the players show up there, and just to show you how spoiled they are, yep. LeBron comes out when he gets there and says he feels like he's doing a bid. Feels like that refers to prison, like going to prison. Is that what
right.
Did I misunderstand that? Or no?
I mean, LeBron James. Again, I don't know his personal background, his dad, all that other stuff. But that dude, since he was in 7th grade, he's had dudes making the way for him. He was in freshman in high school. He was called King James. So let's pump the brakes, LeBron. Okay, then don't fucking play. You're going to get there and bitch and moan. Oh, the food sucks. You're going to do a bid? Really? Right. That's what you're doing? Okay. Again, you just say something fucking stupid and you lose all the credibility. You put ammunition in your detractors' guns when you say something stupid. I understand it's hard, but you can't have it both ways. You can't be on the fucking Twitter and it's like Kyrie Irving. You can't make movies because of your fame and then denounce your fame. Same thing with Kevin Garnett. I don't want to be in the spotlight. Then don't sign a $125 million fucking contract, dude. With that comes some fucking the bright lights, asshole. So I don't get it. And it's real easy. Just say, I'm going to play. I'll do the best I can. Thank you. Let's go Lakers type thing.
Right. Rajon Rondo says it feels like he's been in a Motel 6. Dude's complaining about food. That dude, Nikolai Vucevic, he's like, man, this shit ain't too bad. Like,
right. He's from Russia. That's why. Motherfucker used to eat a rock. He had rock for dinner when he was a kid.
Exactly.
He ate a rock.
Exactly.
He had snow.
So they get there, they complain, they bitch and moan, but it's okay. At the end, when you win a championship, if Disney World pays you, you sure as shit say, I'm going to Disney World.
Oh, yeah, right.
You're in fucking Disney World. You're in Disney World.
Right. Yep. It's ponderous, Smitt.
Oh. All right. So we'll keep it moving.
You think that did you guys think who said the thing about them with their weed and the hose?
Oh, that was Garjul. He says they're gonna have to bring in some robot pussy.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think that they'll be fine. There's a little. That was all worked out. It's all good. They're definitely weed. I mean, there's no that's undeniable. And there's definitely a little underground tunnle to get whatever they need, whoever
these
they
dudes,
need.
Look, they're young millionaires. These dudes,
right.
young athlete millionaires. They're used to. I get they're just used to a certain lifestyle.
Right.
I get that they're used to a certain lifestyle, and that usually means weed and hose.
Right, and that's fine.
Weed and hose. No disrespect for the hose out there.
Hey, well, you're getting paid, and you're doing it voluntarily.
Right. Yeah, as long as it's not some fucking Jeffrey Epstein shit rolling on.
Right. Make sure you get yours, especially in that situation. That's my advice there.
Yeah, they're gonna be straight up at home, and the family's even at home. So the ones that I don't know what.
Right.
Gonna be tough situation. All right, so we can move on. So one thing, there's some odds out there, Webb, that we can maybe put some money on. We're talking about the Redskins naming rights, and there's actually odds for different teams. The Lincolns are plus 400, the Warriors are plus 300, the Presidents are plus 300, the Arlington's plus 1,000, and even what I saw some logos and shit for the Red Tails. I think that's like a tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yes,
yeah.
It's black, whatever, Air Force. I don't know if it's Air Force or Navy fighter pilots, whatever.
Right. So they're even at plus 400. And I saw some logos and colors and shit like that. Pretty cool looking. Little like fighter bomber jet looking thing, and with the logo around it. I don't know. I would be okay with the Washington Red Tails.
As a Redskin hater, I would hate to see them do something as enlightened as name their team the Red Tails. So I am rooting against that only for that reason. Daniel Snyder is a proven douche, so I doubt that's going to happen highly. The other names to me are just stupid. You're going to name it Lincoln's. I mean, isn't that the $5? Who's on the 100? Or I mean, why would you name it the $5 bill? I guess what Lincoln freed the slaves. Is that trying to, again, if that's the reference, I didn't get that till now, then that ain't happening either, because they're not that enlightened. Arlington is stupid. Warriors, there's already Warriors out there, but that doesn't really stop. I saw the Generals. I don't know why they wouldn't go with the Generals. It just seems you could do something kind of cool with a logo there. And unless
Trump owns that team name still, he might.
Okay, but I did see that on some list at some point. If he does, that's fine. I mean, and again, maybe they don't want to feed into that either. But I get that. But there's got to be a better name, and it is smart to keep the colors. You want to keep the colors the same, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. So for those out there, I know a lot of times we hear. So I wanted to make an effort, Webb. We talked about last week about having some people come in and maybe write a blog or be our like beat writer in every city. So we got a little bit of interest, but I just want to reiterate that again. If you're an expert at a certain college team or a certain city, certain bunch of teams, NHL, whatever it is, let us know. We'd love for you to be a part of the team. You can be our expert on that team and let us know. But I know we have some issues sometimes with the guys with the Giants and the Jets. So I did a little bit of research so we can talk a little bit about the Giants and the Jets today, if you don't mind, just for a second.
Of course not.
I looked up the NFL records for the last decade from 2010.
I can't wait.
2019. So listen, I don't want the guys to feel left out. You know, I know there's a lot of Giants and Jets fans out there.
You have every team or just those two?
I have every team. Perfect. I have every team. So I'll be happy to compare if
perfect. Yes.
So for the Jets fans out here, here's some news for you in case you didn't know this. So for the decade from 2010 through 2019, those 10 years, in the AFC East, The Jets are in last place with a 68-92 record. 68-92 over the last 10 years. After looking at this, I really realized we should be talking about them more. They're very relevant.
So let's do some math. I mean, so that's over 10 years, 68 wins. So they're averaging. That's even higher. I wouldn't think they'd average almost 7 wins a year. Wow, that's even higher, and that's last place in the division, huh?
Last place in the division. Even the Dolphins. The Dolphins are 2 games ahead, and even the Bills are 3 games ahead of them. And obviously, the Patriots have
What's
doubled.
The
Patriots are 125-35.
Jesus, wow.
So
they lose 4 games a year. Not even. Wow. Holy shit. No wonder why. Yeah.
Jets. I don't listen, guys out there, Jets fans. I don't want you to feel left out anymore. We're going to come up with something like this every week for you guys.
Right.
And make sure you
we will celebrate your atrocity, your ineptness.
Yeah.
How many head coaches? I wonder if we can get that
well,
one.
Maybe next week.
/GMs. Head coaches /GMs.
Maybe that'll be next week. So, but don't look. I know Giants fans have been calling. Giants fans have been calling for more stuff too, Webb.
Yeah. Watch out what you wish for.
In the NFC East, I suppose this is the Giants. They're while not in last, they're 8 games, 7.5 games ahead of the Redskins.
They're in last, which is great.
Who are last, and the Giants are 70-90. 70.
So they win 10 games. They win 7 games a year. That's for the past decade, huh? That would. So for you Eli Manning lovers out there, that's what 8 years of Eli, correct? Probably maybe 9 years of Eli that you've won 7 games on average.
Yep. So
what's the Cowboys?
Okay, the Cowboys are a close second place, Webb.
Wow.
Place. The Eagles are 87-73, and in first place, and the Cowboys are 1 game back at 86-74.
So Jason Garrett, the epitome, the Webster's dictionary definition of mediocrity should have a picture of Jason Garrett. You're going to win 8.5 games on average a year over 10 years. Hey, you know what? I deserve it. I deserve to take some lumps for that. So,
all right.
And
in case, since you asked, let me get the Saints real quick. Since you just mentioned the Saints.
We got to do the Vikings too.
Okay.
I was getting to the Saints.
The Saints are number 1 in the NFC South.
That makes sense.
They are 160, which just means to me they should have more Super Bowl wins. They should have.
I would certainly more playoff wins and Super Bowl. They've only won 1 Super Bowl, right? They've only been to 1 and won it.
Been to 1 and won 1, but they've been to the NFC Championship a couple of times under Sean Payton.
I know that's true. That's true.
They've had a couple, obviously, a lot of near misses. But
I would say that's a good decade for sure.
Right. No doubt.
What's the rest of that division, if you don't mind?
Just so you know, as far as the whole NFL, 100 wins, that puts them number 4 in the entire NFL, behind only New England, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh. So that's pretty solid.
Yeah, but how many Super Bowl victories do those teams have in the past decade? Does Green Bay have 1 or 2?
Green Bay might have 1. I mean, right. Rodgers has only won 1, right? And then the Steelers might have. I mean, I know Steelers have won 2 under Roethlisberger, correct?
Yeah, but that would only be. I don't know.
That might not have been in the last 10 years. One of them might. Maybe one of them was.
Right. Well, one of Reed, they won one when Reed got married. That was more than 10 years ago for sure. I think that was Roethlisberger's rookie year. So that means he's only got 1 there too. So that you're probably disappointed if you're both the fans of those teams, with all the success you've had, not to really, rub it in the other fans' faces. But again, still very good. I'd much rather have that than the shabby 86 wins the Cowboys have. But again, that's no comparison to the 68-70 of the New York Jets and New York Giants. So,
right. And then you brought up the Vikings. They trail the Packers by about 20 games during that time frame, but they're second in that division, ahead of the Bears and ahead of the Lions. They're at 81, 77, and 2. 81,
so they're less. So they're worse than the Cowboys. That's really the definition of me. They're really at 8.
8. You're just living life.
You are vanilla. You are vanilla.
You do some ice fishing.
Right.
Drink some whiskey and beer.
I don't even know if they drink whiskey up there. Yeah, that's wait for hockey season.
Right.
Or whatever. Go Golden Gophers. That just shows you that. Now, let's talk argument. People brought up Stafford. Give me that loser's record for 10 years.
The Lions are last in the mediocre black and blue division.
Right.
72 and 87. So they run that gamut just below 8 wins a season.
Right. It's 7. You're at so that dude goes 7 and 9, and he's and again, I'm just to reference the Dak Prescott top 10 thing. He's top. At worst, he is the 6th best quarterback in the NFL. Just to hammer that home for those of you who gave me some shit this week and did not listen to podcasts, whatever number that was, Smitt, where we broke this down undeniably.
Yeah. So that's that.
Right.
So I mean,
but more to come. More to come, Jets and Giants.
Hey, we're trying this. This is going to be just like our number 54, the Jets Giants stats. That could be like a regular portion of our show here, I think.
Sure. That's right.
I had fun. I
enjoyed it.
Right?
I enjoyed it.
Actually, talking about the Jets and Giants is fun.
Right. That's right. I could talk about it all week.
Who knew?
All week.
So I don't want to feel those guys feel out. The Scott Wheatley, the Thoroughbred Report. Make sure you check out his website. That the Keeneland race is going on today. Just so you know, I picked 3, 7, 8, 10. That's what I got. I took the 3. I think it's artist to win.
I'll give you mine here. 1 second. Scott just did text me or whatever, tweeted me. I can't open it, of course, because I am not technologically savvy. Where is the intern, Nick Perrone? You are lacking. And Smitt, last week I did have the exacta perfect. I want to note, and it did not help me really in the standings, which I was pissed off about.
Moved up a little bit. You won our little side bet that last week with me.
Yeah.
And Scott and
I think I'm at least even on that. Here's mine. Here's Webb's winners. I got who'd you take?
I got 3, 7, 8, 10.
3, 10, 7, 12.
All right. We're in the ballpark. Oh, you got the 3 winning.
Yep. Devin's got 10, 7, 8, 12. Lex has 3, 7, 10, 1. And Stacy has 7, 10, 12, 3.
Okay. We're all pretty up much in there. So, and I think I might be close third, and you're down a few more spots in that contest, but still a few more races to go. We got well,
that dude, I guess he technically had the superfecta, right? Dude, which is hats off to that. So good for him.
That put him in front. So we're gonna need a big race today to pop us back up on top. But
Speaking of this, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just heartbroken this morning, Smitt. I told you next week's race is the Haskell. Popped up, our buddy Frank Grabowski and Gary Frangione, listeners and viewers, whatever you want to call them. Gary's getting involved in a KBO now. Hopefully he stayed away from stuff we did last night. Anyways, the Haskell is next week. Been there. It's tradition in the Weber household, Jersey Shore tradition. I've been there 17 years probably in a row. Devin is 9. She's probably been there 5 years. They're charging $100 a head to get in, limiting it to 5,000 people. And not only that, you can't bring your food or any booze in, which was like one of the greatest things. You'd wheel in there with a cooler. We'd have a whole thing. We'd set up a little our own picnic area, half circle of beach chairs right there by the finish line. So that will not be happening this year, which is heartbreaking. Bum me out. So another kick to the balls from this, like we said, Smitt, just more bad news. The hits keep on coming, as they say. So
yeah, I mean, that's sad, dude. The time, you talk about how many years you've been there. It's a family thing. You go with your kids, the whole bit. That's the kind of stuff we're living through, man.
Yep.
All these things that are just family traditions for years and years and years are going by the wayside. And hopefully someday, eventually soon, we can get back to
before Devin came along,
know it.
I used to call it Reed and the boys. I used to call it Reed and Jeff Gargiul too was there a bunch of times. I used to call it Christmas morning, man. It was my favorite day. We'd get there 9 o'clock, just go there all day. Reed won, $6,000 one time. Mole's been there a bunch of times. It used to be like a whole thing. It was literally my favorite day of the year. And now it's just fucked. So that's it.
Sucks. And did they say how many people they're letting in?
5,000 max.
5,000.
I mean, we were there. Frank and I were there for American Pharaoh. It had to be, 60. Big Brown. Bubba was there. Our buddy Bubba. Jeff. We were all there for Big Brown. That was one of that. Dude, that horse had just different gears. It could just shift it and take it into its own. There had to be another 60 there. So it's, just, I know it's not that year with those tremendous horses, but it's just sad that it's even limited like that. I was looking forward to it when they announced the track was opening, and it just seems to me to be a money grab. So.
Right. And for those that don't know, this is like the New Jersey equivalent of the Kentucky Derby. I mean,
Correct.
It's all, you wear some good clothes, good dids, you go there, you have a good time. It's packed and people are having a good time. And
it was really just a great thing. It was never you could take the train right there, bring your cooler, your own food. You didn't, it could be almost a very cost-effective way to have an awesome day, with family or without. You could bring the kids early, send them home. Monmouth Park is definitely the nicest track in New Jersey. There's like a picnic area for kids. They got a bounce house, playground. There's even miniature golf there now. Like the kids can have a day at themselves, much less you sitting there. So anyways, just a lot bummed out about that.
Right. That sucks. Just a sign of the times, Webb.
Yep.
Sign of the times.
Yep.
All right. So anything else we didn't get to this week? Listen, next week, if the NBA seems like it's a week away from starting, we'll get into those odds. If MLB seems like we're still a week away from starting, we'll get into those. And
we're done again. They're playing. I saw Francisco Lindor to Cleveland hit a home run and did some crazy flip heading into home. I don't know if you guys saw that. They are playing inter-squad games and scrimmages today as we speak, which I think is positive. I think, as much as I was bashing on them early on, I think I may cut them the most slack here as we get closer. Aside from the NHL, NHL is another one. I think they just agreed. NHL, PA, and the team they're moving forward. Let's go Rangers, of course. John Morgan. As much as we bash the Giants, let's get some Ranger love going. We'd love to have you on. So we definitely want to talk. I want to talk about Major League Baseball over/unders, World Series. We'll make some bunch of picks. So let's do that. We'll give some World Series.
That'll be our big show next week. We'll look deep into that and get some picks going on for that.
And we will do that for all leagues, NBA, NHL, and whatever else comes along.
Right. All right, cool. Well, just real quick, thank you to Wilbur Investigations. If you're in Monmouth County, you got some things you want to get checked up on, they're the man to call. Wilbur Investigations, George Burge and his dad and his partner and all them guys.
Wait, before you get off, let me press another button here of yours. What do you think about the golf last week, your boy?
Well, I've been watching a lot of golf because
what else? Your other choice do you have? First of all, you can gamble on it, and second of all, it's live.
Right. I forgot about this. So they I didn't understand. So the DeChambeau guy, he wins last week to his credit.
And that was that was a limited field, not to diminish the golfers that were playing, but there was there was no there was 10 or 15 of the top golfers that were not in last week's whatever tournament, whatever you want to say.
Right, but they just for the 3 weeks I watched up to that point, they were talking about is this DeChambeau guy. I never heard of him before, really. So but I guess
he's 2 or 3 years
a few times. Yeah, I mean,
I think that was his second, whatever they call it, major win. I think that was his second. And again, that was not. There was, many. Bruce Koepka didn't play. I don't know. There's at least 10 dudes that I know that didn't play.
Right. So I'm watching it. I guess this guy went through some type of body transformation in the last year.
Clearly. All
right, because it's all they fucking talk about, and he talked about his diet and his exercise routine. To me, the dude's wearing small clothes. Looks like to me, he's like the muscle guy at the gym that just wears the really tight T-shirt.
Or he wears the cut off, like he cuts the tank top like real thin.
Yeah,
comes down like a Gold's Gym tank top cut, like like a bikini string almost down the front, so you can see his pecs. Get the fuck out of here.
They make a big deal about it because it's like he drinks 8 protein shakes a day and every meal, but I mean, it's all right. So what are you saying? The golfer fucking got beefed up like the athlete. If you're supposed to be an athlete, so all right. So he got in shape and beefed up to help him be better at his game. I mean, I don't know what's the fucking big deal. I say wear some bigger pants. He's wearing tight ass fucking pants and shit.
Yeah, well, he's out there.
Looks like a dude that his closet's getting a little small on him. He got a fucking. He hasn't. He's yet to.
Got some money to buy some clothes. He could do it. He's got some sponsors.
I got a lot of fucking clothes in my closet like that makes me.
Dude,
look like
I got a bunch of shit that don't fit me sitting in my closet.
Right. Oh, there's the Wager Maker Express.
There it is. Webb and Smith's face on the side.
So this guy DeChambeau, sometimes you can. I think I didn't like him. I mean, I'm glad. Look, he won. I ain't beefing on him. But even the 3 or 4 weeks leading up to this week, they talked about him so much, and he didn't really do shit. And I just didn't like him. Some guys you look at, you're like, I don't like this cat. I can tell he's a dick.
He's a douche. Just look at him. I mean, that's right.
This dude's been living in the country club.
Fans of prejudging people, and what he did with the cameraman kind of reinforced it. No,
right. Dude's been living in a country club since he was 4 years old. I'm sure, since birth, since probably gave birth at a country club. So he gets all in his cameraman shit last week because the dude's following him around because he got pissed off. He hit a bad bunker shot and got all pissed off because the guy was filming him. But in the TV world, a dude is assigned to a guy. There's not a guy out on the course running around from player to player filming the shit you see. And up in the booth, the director's saying, okay, cut to DeChambeau camera, cut to Mickelson camera, cut. But one dude's following you around the whole fucking day.
Dude, you're winning. You're fucking winning. Of course they're going to follow the leader. What if they weren't? It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing. Again, you want the accolades, but you cannot take the fucking criticism. Then give it back and don't fucking play.
Right. You hit a bad shot, you're yelling at the fucking cameraman. Dude's out there 100 fucking degrees running around with a fucking camera on his fucking shoulder. Following you in a sand fucking trap because you can't get in the fucking fairway. I'm sure you don't feel like being in that fucking sand trap either.
Right.
Hard to walk in that.
It's not per diem. He ain't making them, but he doesn't have the sponsorship. Dude's getting paid by the event, asshole.
It's hard to walk in that shit, that sand trap, hitting the fucking ball in the sand trap. Good thing you're all beefed up. You're probably sinking all in the fucking sand.
And the other thing too, Smith, I think part of that is he's like anti-golf. Like he just one club size. Like his putter is the same length as his driver, as his 9 or whatever, as a wedge, whatever. That's again, I play golf. I'm not a good golfer. That shit is a little bit lost on me, but I understand I don't want to swing a shorter club when I'm driving or whatever. So that's the other thing. So if you look at his clubs, they look different, or you can always see that too. That's another look at me type thing. I don't need to play by the traditional golf rules that have been around for 100 fucking years. I can win without it, which he did. So I mean, but that's another thing why there's some focus on him and why there's going to be a fucking cameraman on you.
And I can tell you, he wasn't doing shit for the 3 or 4 tournaments I saw up to this, and all they did was talk about this dude and how cutting edge he is with the golf clubs, and he's just on the edge of all this technology shit. And he bulked up. He learned about this new diet fucking shit. It's like, man, just show the fucking golf. This dude is a clown.
Well, that's that just because he was the draw in that. He was the favorite in that tournament, which he never is. Maybe now that may change, but he did win that. Credit to him. I think that was his second. Belfi told me, Michael told me that was his second one he won. And a lot of my guys have played. My buddies here played golf much longer, years, 20 years. I'm relatively new to it, and everyone's a little reluctant to give this guy the love just based on his kind of shit he talks about traditional golf and all that stuff, like he's cutting edge. And again, if you want to do that, and that's fine, you want to, but you're gonna have to have a cameraman on you, dick, especially when you hit something, do a bad shot. The cameraman's on you when it's a good shot, that's fine, right? You'll pose, you'll flex,
right? And it doesn't even mean it gets on the TV. You know what I mean? Like while he was standing there filming him, the main director and the main feed might have been on some other golfer across this course, but you're yelling at this fucking dude. Yeah. His job is to follow you. The other guy's job is to make you not look like an asshole, but obviously you can do that on your own.
Yep.
All right, then I'm watching. I put a little money on Mickelson this week. Dude, he still hits the ball good. He looks like your dad out there. He's kind of getting a little older. He's sunburned. He's wearing like flooded pants. His pants are kind of flooding. Yeah. He just looks like, oh man, he was walking around the other morning. He had an early tea time. He's walking around with like the big thermos of coffee out there, like looking like he's the dad going out to the fishing hole for the day.
To me, I mean, that again, I'm not bashing him at all. Good for him, but that just reeks of you're going to pay me. I had my time. I'm still going to get paid. I'll go out there and play golf. Why not? I love playing golf. And if I win, I win. I don't. I'm going to drink some coffee. I'll throw some clothes on. Oops, I forgot some sunscreen.
He's been competitive the last couple of weeks.
But good for him. I would do the same fucking thing. You're going to pay me to play golf still, even though I'm not to draw, no problem. But I got to talk. We got to talk about Spieth now that we brought this up. What's going on? This is like the 4th tournament I had this dude. And he's at best a tease. He's got to be. I mean, he was, I guess, a little flashy. How many? I mean, he had some tremendous.
He's got a couple majors. He had a couple good years. He had a couple majors, I think.
I think he's got a green jacket.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Again, we're not going to let the facts get in the way here. But so what happened? That's it. You're good for 2 or 3 years, and then I mean, was he good for longer than that?
I don't know, man. The golf is such a mental game. Like sometimes it looks like me to the point of, okay, not me because he hits 5 birdies in a row, but I'll have a real good 9 and just one hole just fucking collapse on shit. It's not. I don't hit 5 birdies, but I'm saying you'll have like, and then just you get a 9. But he does that too.
Right. Yeah. Completely. Like I saw him that first tournament. He missed a putt that was
2 feet.
Yeah, like
not even 3 feet, 2 feet.
Yeah, I don't know that. Just almost indefensible, dude. That's just clearly you don't care or something. At that level, that should be 100% of the time.
Right, and I don't think he's going to make the cut this week. I think Mickelson. Well, I don't think he did make the cut this week. So that's
what happened. I think yesterday it got. It's not done, right? Because yesterday it got.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it got whatever the weather. It got postponed or whatever they did. They stopped. So I don't know if that's over yet. But Spieth, I'm done with. Just so you know, dude, you got to get back in my good graces anyway.
Right, well, that's the thing. We jump on him because we know the name and we know we've seen those 5-hole stretches where he goes 5 birdies.
And the odds
numbers are big. The numbers on him are huge.
The odds are right. The odds are right. Well, that's why. I mean, because he completely can just lose. Like he could go 5 birdies and then 5 double bogeys. Right.
He could play 3 rounds at this point really good, and then on 2 holes, 4th round, just fuck it all up. So.
And it's hard if you go down, real down. If someone's even plays par at that point, it's hard to recoup it. So.
All right. So, all right, good chat. Next week, we'll try and get more into the numbers and what to bet on when the NBA starts, what to bet on Major League Baseball starts. We'll really delve into those. Wilbur Investigations, hit him up in Monmouth County. John Grove for the bumper music. TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Podbean, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. Don't forget, Devin will tell you about YouTube. Thanks, Devin. All right, thank you all for listening. Hey, if you want to be one of our beat reporters, let us know. And Webb, take us out.
Yeah, thanks, Wilbur Investigations. Everybody, moans, groans, cries, complaints, hit us up on the website, Twitter, whatever. We will certainly talk about it. We talked about all the shit I get from my boys here. So thanks, everybody, for listening. We will get into specifics MLB next week. Winners. We'll post our KBO picks tonight. We will win tonight. We will be plus in KBO tonight. And then the other one is Usman tonight in the MMA.
Dig it.
All right, Smitt.
Later, buddy.